And welcome to Face the Tribune with the legendary Rolando Ross. I'm your co-host as usual, Chris Garcia. We have a special guest today, our friend Bob, who's going to discuss improper treatment of people at the NDOC. And Rolando, with that, how are you feeling today?
I'm doing fine. Starting a new week, and tomorrow we're going to have County Commissioner Chris Giuliani in the show, and I look forward for that.
Yes.
And I think I'm going to have to put an alert for Bob Becker. He disappeared. I haven't seen him in 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if he's out of town or I didn't see him in the courthouse today. I didn't see him in the office. Nowhere. He's gone.
Oh, man.
I hope he's alive, But anyway, Bob is here because he got a very, very interesting stories about what's going on. And coincidentally, I was thinking about writing an article about the health of the inmates in the Nevada Department of Correction, because a lot of those inmates are they're getting diabetes, and they're getting all kind of diseases, I think illness. Then it's not, and I think it's because the food, because the way they treat them and everything else. And then I got lucky and I met Bob, and he got all the angles that happened in the prison system. Like I have a man inside there, then he finished his sentence, and they don't let him out. He finished his sentence. His brother was killed inside there by a guard. He finished his sentence. I don't know what was it, 15 years, and he's still there. They don't let him out, and some things that you tell people outside the system, you tell these stories to people that are not used to this, and they don't believe you. They think you are lying to them, But Bob has a very interesting, I can't see this because it's too small letters, but that doesn't gonna do me any good, believe me. I don't know why you young people use all these little tiny letters.
So I have my glasses on as well. I have my glasses on as well.
But tell me a little bit about this.
Okay, I could read this, and if I did, it'd probably take us the majority of the show. So
that's fine. That's what you're here for.
So basically what has happened is an employee of mine was incarcerated, and I believe that it was wrongfully incarcerated. For me to speak too much on this, I might be ignorant because I didn't check out the law. But from what I understand, is that Obama had passed a law that if anybody has any drug offense against them or whatever, that if it's their first offense and there's not any violence, if there's no weapons involved or anything in the crime, that they are not to spend any time in prison, that they're supposed to go through the work program and rehabilitation and the drug classes and all those sort of kind of things, and you get out. Number one, he was sticking up for his ex-wife, and he took the rap for everything. Okay, so which good guy, I guess. But anyways, in my county, I guess they don't follow the same rules.
Is she still with him?
Yes.
Oh, well, at least he's lucky.
Oh, his ex-wife? No.
She left him.
Yeah, she did. Looking for somebody else. So, and he did that for her. But anyways, if it was her offense, she wouldn't have been spending any time because of the programs that were set in place. But here's the deal. As he, I feel, first of all, was wrongly incarcerated, but let's get beyond that. Okay, so he spent some time, approximately 2 years. They moved him out of there to they call it the camp out there. And it's like the lowest, as far as security that there is. And I was able to talk to him pretty much whenever he called me. You know, and he had a lot of freedoms there, you know, that you don't have in the other, you know, the classifications as far as the level of security. So, anyways, they really liked him. He's playing by the rules and everything. They let him out to a place called Casa Grande. Now, Casa Grande is like a halfway home, so you can work, but you got to be back at a specific time. And I was the employer that would call in every 2 weeks and give them, you know, his schedule. And he played by the rules. We were always on time on giving the schedule. He did exactly what he's supposed to do. And if he did anything outside the parameters of what he was allowed to do, he would call and get permission first. Okay? So he was doing so well, they actually liked him there. And so they granted him parole. So he went to a hearing. He was granted parole. I have text messages of this, and so does his girlfriend. And anyways, as time went on, they put a bracelet on him, let him get a place to stay, so he got an in-house arrest. Now, this bracelet goes around your ankle, and there's no way to take it off. You have to go to a specific facility to get it put on and to get it taken off. Okay, so he was granted the parole. They put the bracelet on him, and then they decided that he doesn't need the bracelet anymore, and he took it out. Okay, so he had a parole officer that was very cooperative. They worked good together. Bill, he always called in all the time to, you know, get permission to do whatever it is he wanted to do outside, you know, the parameters. Well,
he followed the rules.
Yeah, he followed the rules. I mean, he played by the book, you know. And so he wanted to go out to Pahrump to do some volunteer work for a friend of his had passed away, so he was helped taking care of his wife. His wife wanted the porch, and he was out there building the porch on the weekends. And so that's all he was doing. And so, anyways, they determined that, or assumed that he had beat somebody up while he was in Pahrump. Okay? Now, he was a member of a bike club, and the bike club has disbanded in Pahrump. Another chapter came and stripped them of their patches. So it's not even, they're not even out there flying the colors, not even there. So his nickname that he had was similar to another gentleman's name, and this other guy beat some guy almost senseless. So Knight kind of goes, well, that must be this must be the other guy, because the name sounds familiar. It's probably him. So they approach my employee, and they arrested him. So they had to have the bracelet put back on. Okay. Then when he went to show his PO officer these tickets that he wanted to go to a Christian concert, so they gave him tickets. His girlfriend gave him some tickets. The parole officer said, you have to show me the tickets. The text is not good enough. Come down here. He goes down there. They arrest him. And then they put him back in NDOC. Okay, so number one, they put him in the highest maximum security. Why they did that, I don't understand. He was supposed to have a hearing, which he never got. They put him in the
and this is all happened already in the system.
Yeah, this is already
not
happened.
in the county jail or anything.
No, he's right in NDOC.
He went in
High desert, yeah. So, so he was in the fish tank, or they call it the hall, the fish tank, where you're kind of stuck in there until they decide where they're going to put you for 40 days.
Yeah.
That's not longer than the standard guy has to spend. So they put him in, into the level 3 maximum security with the rapist, and I mean people that are really doing it wrong. You know what I mean? And so it's a whole other world in there. You can't work. You can't get any kind of any special treatment. And so, in the meantime, me and his girlfriend are doing whatever we can to get him out. So we're calling the NDOC, the Nevada Department of Corrections. We're calling PNP, the Parole and Probation, and every single entity that we call.
That's the same girl that left him?
No.
This is the new girl.
This is his new girlfriend, yeah.
Okay.
And so anyway, she works for me as well. So they just have them connect and got a great thing going on. So it was a shame to get into a new relationship and have all these great feelings and everything, and then all of a sudden get separated from your girlfriend or boyfriend, you know. So it's quite a bit on her, you know. She's stressed out every day. But anyway, so we've tried all these different people. We've called everybody that we possibly could think of. We've even got some other avenues that we're researching and having some good success actually right now. But It's like every time you call somebody, they say, go to this person, and this person says, go to this person, and this one goes there, and he's just a big circle, and keeps on pointing back to parole and probation. Well, his new parole officer is not very cooperative. He basically had taken the phone, and when my office manager was to get all these belongings, that there was no phone when there was. He said, well, there was no phone. So after a month or so goes by, the phone appears, and she gets the phone. The parole officer then apologizes to her, telling her, sorry that I lied to you. So he admitted that he lied.
To his girlfriend.
Yeah. And so, and he admitted that he was under investigation, and that he really couldn't give out that information, which I guess is understandable. His phone went through some type of a forensic, research, and they try to find everything they can in that phone to, prosecute him, but they couldn't find anything. Any evidence in it that would be on his behalf to help him with the situation was all erased out of his phone. Which I knew they were going to do that, so, anyway, she gets the phone, she goes through it, she sees all this stuff's been taken out. And the parole officer went to him and said, look, we're sorry, this was a case of mistaken identity, we're going to get you reinstated and get you out of here, get you exonerated from these charges. Wow. Well, now we got 90 days has gone by, and he's still there, and they're like in a limbo situation. It's like nobody knows, they say that he never was on parole. Well, how do you not be on parole and have two parole officers? and how do you get the bracelet put on you if you're not on parole? And then you have to go.
Well, you don't have to be in parole to have the bracelet.
No,
you can be in house arrest.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. It was house arrest, but they put it on because they granted him parole, and so they said go to this place, get the bracelet on, which is not a government organization; it's privately owned. Yeah. And so he gets it put on. He's doing great, and then they actually took it off. You go see the new PO, they put it back on him, and then a couple of days later they arrest him. And so it seems like people don't want to do their job. And it seems like it's in the hands of the parole and probation right now. And when we talk to these people, they're very rude. They're condescending when they talk to you. So you're like a second-class citizen. It's like, what do you want? What are you calling me for? I don't have time for this, And his caseworker, I think is involved with parole and probation, said, you need to kite me. Well, what a kite is a little note that you send to your caseworker or to the ward or whatever.
Did you ask him what the kite is?
And it's just, I asked my employee, and he says, it was just a little form you fill out. Well, he goes to get kites, and they have a sign up, no kites available right now. Why that is, I don't know. I mean, can't you just take a kite and make copies of it and stick it in a little box out there? So they say there's no kite. So then his caseworker is telling, the girl in my office is that, what, he needs to kite me. Well, she reminds her that there is no kite. She goes, I don't believe that. So she goes out there and finally talks to him, and she's screaming at him, chewing him out, because the girl is calling to find out what's going on with him and why is he still there. Yeah. So they can't give us a reason why. And then they're trying to say that they lost the paperwork, that he was ever on parole, but then they're talking to the parole officer. So I don't understand how that you can not be on parole and have parole officers. So basically where it is right now, and I thank you for having me on here, and I'm doing whatever I can to help him out, because first of all, I need him back at work. The industry that I'm in is very unique. We do artwork, and I need this guy. He's a newer employee, but he's really good at what he does, and it's hard for me to find people that do what we do. So I need him back to work. Not only that, he's a personal friend, and what's happening to him is wrong. He needs to be out of there. He's in this tier with inmates. They're fighting all the time. He's on lockdown almost every other day. The prisoners are being killed by the guards. The prisoners are killing each other. It's like, and they're over too many people in there, overcrowded the prisons. Why not get the guys out then? If it's overcrowded, why are we holding on to people that's already done their time and need to be released? I get fired up over this thing because it's wrong. I know. You're talking about people's lives here. They might lose their constitutional rights, but they don't lose their human rights.
That's exactly what I said all the time.
It's not right.
Exactly what I said. They might lose the constitutional right, and I don't think they lose all the constitutional rights, but assuming they do, the human right, you cannot lose that.
How long ago did this happen?
He's been in there probably 95 days now.
95 days.
And this is the second time he's been put back in.
I think what happens with a lot, anytime you're talking about the Department of Corrections or police officers or anybody, I think they have egos, huge egos, and they don't like to be told that they made a mistake. I think in this situation, they know for a fact they made a mistake, and they basically, if they let him out, it would be admitting a mistake. I think they're afraid of lawsuits. I think they're afraid of a lot of things. And I think that the longer that they keep him there, the more it looks like they, at least in their mind, they did make a mistake. If they can continue to push back the issue and have him do another week, another 30 days, another what it looks like, well, the crime that we initially went after him for, you see, he actually did the time for it. So we weren't really wrong, even though we were wrong. And I know that sounds crazy, but I think in their minds, that's the way they justify it. Is that
why do you think they take so long with Christine Lovato?
That's exactly what they're doing.
Christine Lovato has been there for 15 and a half years. And she wasn't even in Las Vegas when the crime was committed.
Yeah, they're not going to get that.
You know, and they cannot do that. You know why? Because they assume that as soon as she get out, she's going to sue them.
And that's what they're afraid of with this guy. Because as soon as I got out, I'd get a lawyer. And I think that that's what they're afraid of.
Well, I'm not going to sit on my butt and do nothing.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? This is my friend.
Yes.
This is an employee of mine, and I need him back, and what's happening to him is wrong.
Well, I tell you one thing, I commend you for that.
That's right.
When you are
there,
it's no friends.
No.
When you are there, you have no friends.
Right.
He said it, when I talked to him last week, he said that he's on NC. I go, what's NC mean? He goes, nothing's coming. You know, and
He's right. He's right.
Yeah, and then, you know, for us to be told that we were told by his caseworker that, look, I don't have time for this. He's a big boy. There's other avenues that he can use, and he needs to use them. And he needs to send me a type. Well, there are no types.
Can you say his name, Bob?
I would rather
not.
All
right.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't. There's other things in the works right now.
Okay.
I mean, I was going to go to a higher level, you know, I mean, all the way to the top. And ask them why. I want to know why.
That's the
question is why this is happening.
Yeah.
It's not right. You know?
It happened every day. He's not the exception.
Well, that's another reason I'm here.
He's not the exception. Believe me.
I'm on the behalf of everybody that's in there wrongfully. I mean, I call it wrongful incarceration. Let the guy out. He's done his time already. You know, and the guy, you know, he's changed his life. You know, everybody meets Jesus in prison. You know what I mean? It seems like. But this guy, he grew up in a Christian home. His father was a preacher. My situation's the same. We both play guitar. I learned how to play in church, and he did too. So that's how we became friends, is because the way we grew up was basically
I've been there, absolutely. This story, trust me, most of us have done time in some form or another in our life. I know I have. I know my wife has. I mean, most of us have. And the lady over there saying she has. But it was the same thing. I dealt with this when I was a child. They locked me up when I was 17. I was transferred to an adult penitentiary when I was 18 years old. And of course, we all change our life. Most of us do. You grow up, you change your life, you get married, you have kids, you know, and it changes you, man. And you know, they admitted yes, I was there because of some of the things that I was doing. I never am the type of person that says I'm innocent, because I wasn't innocent. I was there because of some of the things I was doing in my life. But some of the time they were trying to tack on was just, and they were wrong about it. And when they figured out that they were wrong, they didn't want to let me out. So I, just like Rolando says, I know this happens every single day, especially in the, what do you call it, the country of Las Vegas? Because that's what it is. You know, they make up their own rules in Nevada, period. But especially in the city
of
Las
Vegas. But I tell you, I didn't know that I was sharing the mics with a criminal, with a convict. I mean, I don't know if I want to have you here anymore. You know?
Well, you know what? Here's the deal.
That was 35 years ago, but
you know what happened? You got caught.
That's right.
Okay, everybody screws up. Everybody makes bad decisions.
That's right.
And you just happen to be the one that got caught. And, you know, and I've made some bad decisions as well. But you know what? I'm older now. You know, we think as men. You know, and we don't do stupid things anymore. We don't make stupid decisions. You know, the most of us don't. You know, so I mean, these guys that are in there in prison, a lot of the majority are in there because of drugs, you know, and because they wanted to alter their mind a little bit or whatever. Do I agree with that? No, but you know what? What they do in their own homes, as long as they're not hurting anybody, that's their problem.
That's their business.
It's like, you know, that's what, I mean, if they want to kill themselves, that's their deal. But to hold people in prison for all these years, I mean, how many people are still in prison, you know, for seeds that they did 15 years ago, you know, they get life for it, and then now marijuana is legal.
Talk about that.
You know, it's ridiculous. That goes.
I write about that all the time.
Unbelievable.
I write
and
about
I believe this. I told my wife this the other day, and people think that I'm crazy, but I am telling you, there will be a time, I believe, in 20 or 25 years, when most drugs that they consider illegal today, when they figure out how to tax it, will be legal.
Ironically, that's
I promise you, I don't care if it's cocaine, crystal meth.
Yeah.
When they figure out how to tax it, it will all be legal, and we've ruined millions of people's lives.
all
and
you
their
gotta
families
do
for
is tax
nothing.
it. That's all. They don't
Absolutely.
have to figure it
You
out.
go to some European countries, you can just go to the store, pick it up. You have a license to pick it up or whatever, like marijuana. They tax it.
I always
Prostitution, all of that.
I always write about that. This guy over here, David Callas, detective with the narcotics units. Now he owns a marijuana place. You know, I mean,
Absolutely.
it doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't.
How can he got the audacity, the nerve, after he set up people, he put people in jail and took their drugs and keep it for himself?
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
and now, but the only benefit I get out of this that the guy is very sick and he's dying. And so I am glad to hear that because he was a bad guy.
I just believe all of it. To me, if you really read the Constitution, I think that incarcerating people for trade of their own personal belongings is unconstitutional. I don't care what it is you're selling. You can't tell me that a person can have a yard sale and sell their products in their front lawn. The police drive right by them. That's constitutional. But if you have a prescription for pills and they're your pills and you want to sell them, you can go to prison for that.
Oh yeah.
That's to me, that's your private property.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want to with it. I think the only reason that they're mad, the government is mad, is because they can't get their hands in the cookie jar.
Well, here's
Once
the deal.
they figure out how to tax it, I think it's all going to be legal.
Somebody told me the other day, and I don't know how true it is, but they said that there's 3 revenues that this state has, and they're big. You know, number 1 is the casino, the gaming.
Yes.
Number 2 is the NDOC, and number 3 is the mining. There's a lot of money to be made in incarcerating somebody.
Yes.
For each person you have per year, is $30,000. I think.
Not the ranches,
Absolutely.
not the prostitution.
What's wrong with? Oh no.
No,
No,
they're
that's-
not in that
Nah,
list.
I didn't.
Really?
No, it's not.
I thought prostitution was a very profitable.
Oh, yeah, worldwide.
Well, it's profitable, but
yeah.
but
Yeah.
not in the state of Nevada. It's not one of the top. You know, I can't
No.
imagine that. No. I mean, how many people drive out there, and how many people can they really serve in a day?
Are you saying, you mean legal? Legal
Yeah,
prostitution is
legal
not,
prostitution.
it's not legal.
Oh, if you take all the prostitution,
You take all the prostitution. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well,
Absolutely.
well, shoot, them pimps ain't driving around in them fancy cars and stuff because they ain't making no money. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
you know, I just wanted to get it out there. I'm not trying to, you know, stir up any trouble for me or for anybody. I just want my friend out. You know what I mean? And I went there and visited him today. I was about in tears, you know, looking at the man because his life has changed dramatically. You know, and he's you know living by the rules and the
How
standards
old
of
is
God.
this guy?
He's 50 something.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he's not here.
No, and, you know, and here's the thing: is he can stand his own. Okay, he's a tough guy. You know what I mean? He's not very big, but he's a tough guy, and it's a good thing because when you're in the prison system, especially when you're in the maximum security, these guys are going to be there. Some of them all their life, so they don't care if they have another B felony. So you get in a fight, whether you're defending yourself or whether you started it, it's a felony. So it's just another rap to put you in prison longer. And one of the detectives or police officers told him, he says, I guarantee you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison on this small little rap that he had. So I don't know if all this is coming from there and they're pulling strings or whatever, but to get the runaround that I have been for the last 2 months to get him out, and nobody wants to accept responsibility on who's going to get him out of there. You know,
I think you're going to have to go over their head. I think they might be trying to prove a point, and coming on a show like you're doing today is a good start. But I think eventually, if they don't let him out, you might wind up having to go over their head, like you said. I mean, it might come to that point.
He got a lawyer?
Yeah.
no.
Why not? He don't have the money?
No, well, because we were told that he was going to get out in November. Okay, that date came along, he didn't release him. Then they said in December they were going to release him. Well, that date came along and didn't happen. Now they say then the parole officer told us and him that they were going to release him and get him out of there. The next day he changes his mind. They had taken time off his sentence for good behavior. This guy puts those days back on his time, and so now they're talking about in April now. Well, we got 2 days to give it to us. We got one in April, and we got one.
Well, Bob, let me ask you, don't you think this could be something personal? Maybe he pissed somebody off.
I think he did.
I think he pissed somebody off.
He won't tell. He won't tell nobody. I mean, you don't mess around with clubs, MC clubs. You don't mess around with that. You don't. So, you go in there and here's the deal. It's all about him. It's not about all these other people that he might have been associated with. It's all about him. So let's not worry about all these people they want him to snitch on. But because of the fact that he didn't, I think that's one of the reasons he's in there. And because he didn't do what the guy said. He said, I'll guarantee you'll be in prison the rest of your life. Well, you can't just throw that out there to somebody. It's going to go be decided in a court of law, And then he never got a hearing either. He's supposed to have a hearing. That never happened. So he's in limbo right now. It's like nobody wants to take responsibility. We've got some other people working on it and some other things in the fire that looks like a very positive thing, but, we got to go pretty high. But there's one more level I can go to, and I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to get anybody, strip, no bowl, I just want my friend out, and he needs to be let go. He's in there long enough. And right now what's happening is wrong. Wrongful incarceration is what I call it.
Well, that's what me and Rolando are here for. I know Rolando, he's been fighting for people his entire life, man, and that's why he has people come on the show, and my show comes on right after this, and, we're going to keep talking about this, but anytime you want to come back here, brother, you got a platform, and show goes out to YouTube all over the country. We stream live on Radio Tribune, and the thing about it is that you can't, what I love about Rolando, and he fights for people, and he's never been afraid. Rolando's like, hey, I am who I am. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. He does this because he loves people, and he loves helping people, and he could have made a lot more money doing a lot of other things than what he's doing right now. But he does what he does every day because he speaks up for people, man. He's helped people like me, like my wife. And so you're doing the right thing, man. But, the lawyer thing is a big thing. Did he have a public defender, or what was the situation?
No, we like I said, we kept thinking he was going to be released. And when that day comes, they don't release him. And then that's when we started getting on the phone. And the first date that was given to us after that, we got on the phone and said, why is it? Because it was going to be months ago. It's like, but it's not happening. So now we want to know why. Nobody can give us the answer.
Yeah, well, I tell you the truth, I don't trust any attorney in this town. They all wimps. They're not good. But sometimes it's good to have a representation so the court give you a different look at your case. I think maybe you should get somebody to go and ask questions.
But okay, so the problem with that is he's already had his day in court and he has a prison sentence, and so this is all on the prison. You need to go to the warden, and then if it is about releasing him on parole, there's a lady. I could probably get her number. Let me work on it overnight, and I'll give you a call tomorrow on it. But there's a lady up in the Carson City office that can take a piece of paper and put it to the top of the pile. Because when I was there, that's what happened to me. But there's somebody you can call to expedite that process. Because the process is always.
We've talked to her.
Okay.
I know who you're talking about.
Okay.
And we've talked to a few other people.
But other than that, you need to go above to the city or the state or the mayor. You need to go that far to get anything to move any faster.
They don't have
If the warden is not, it's Nevada. It's in Nevada. You know what I mean? It's not Prim. It's Nevada. He's in Nevada Department of Corrections. So if the warden's not willing to do anything, you have to go above the warden. That means one of our legislative people. That's what that means. And getting a lawyer.
I've already got that in the works
Okay.
too.
Okay, I just thought I would.
Yeah, but I appreciate that, but I'm going to go a step above the mayor. So I mean, it's too bad I have to do this. I own businesses and I don't have time for this, but I do for my friend. You know what I mean? And hopefully that it'll help other people that's in there wrongfully. You know, there's people that deserve to be in there, and there's people that rehabilitation isn't going to work for them. And I think that's something that needs to be determined. And I think that I don't know why we're paying to feed these guys for the rest of their life. Some people, that some of the wrong that they do to children and women and stuff. Yes. I think they just need to be put to rest. Yeah. Put them out of their misery, and ours too.
That's right.
But some of these guys are in there for. The war on drugs that Nancy Reagan started was a great idea, but then it's turned into a bureaucracy and a moneymaker is all it is.
It is.
So, and in all these prisons, I would say 90% of them, if not all of them, are privately owned. And so the government just keeps on handing the money, man.
Absolutely.
We got 3,000 prisoners. Keep on. We now got 5,000. There's 5,000 prisoners where he's at, and that level of security. And he said it's a jungle, but because of the respect that he has, because they know he's not a wimp, you know what I mean, that he can take care of his own, they leave him alone.
Yeah.
So, and not everybody has that. Not everybody can fight. Not everybody, can do that. So
it is it's a jungle out here, but it's a jungle out there too, because if you have somebody over there that don't like you, they snitch on you. There's more snitches inside the jail, inside the prison than in the outside.
Oh, yeah.
Every time you get a hassle with somebody, they try to set you up.
Yes.
Well, you can go to 9 counties. They have a website that they can public knowledge where all the money goes, all the taxpayer money goes. So you can look, and there's a list of names where $40 is given, $60 is given, and then you don't hear from this person. You might even see their name again maybe a month later, and they buy dope for them, so because they're sick because of the heroin.
Yeah.
They buy dope for them, and they're singing like birds. And it's like everybody's doing it, seems like. So my son didn't do it, so he spent a year in jail, and Bill won't do it either, so he's stuck out there. So, anyways.
How long you been in Nevada,
I was born and raised here.
Really?
Yeah. So that would be, to answer your question, that would be 57 years. Yeah. Lived 1 year in Florida, Pensacola, and then lived up in Rio for a while, which I liked it, but it stays cold too long. The money's here.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely. And besides, where are you gonna live? Not anymore because Las Vegas has changed. But I remember you can go to a barber shop at 3 o'clock in the morning and get a haircut.
Yeah.
You can go buy yourself a suit if you want to, in the store. But. Las Vegas has changed. It's not Las Vegas that we know.
No,
definitely
very corporate now. Very
corporate.
Well, I remember the days of the dollar buffet and the 50-cent drinks over there at the
and the 49-cent breakfast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but actually, to be honest with you, and I don't know if I should say this or not, but I think that it was better ran when the mafia was having.
We talk about that all the time, Rolando.
There's no messing around. If you're out there screwing up and making a bad name for this city, they put a stop to it right now.
I wrote an article the other day in the paper, and I said maybe we need to welcome back the mob again, because this is the corporate mob.
Right.
These people are worse than the mob.
Yeah.
They are worse than the gangsters because they pretend to be. I always believe that when you're dealing with a criminal, you know who you're dealing with. You expect something to go wrong. When you're dealing with one of those little angels that they have, president and CEOs and all that, they screw you faster.
Yep.
And you don't expect it. That's why they can do it faster.
Well, I found 2 dead bodies out there. I found one at the desert, and I found one in the lake, at the lake on the North Shore. And the one out there in the desert was in my fort, actually, And when we went and seen him, he had remember the platform shoes were real popular?
Yeah.
With the checkered baggy pants, and everything was nylon, silk, and the shirts and everything. Well, this guy had
that was before my
well, I had to have me a pair of it to be cool with you, But this guy supposedly walked down the desert like 3 or 4 miles and went in this little gully, and supposedly slit his wrist, is what they said in the newspaper. But it was on New Year's Day, so that means, he had a deadline he had to meet. Like you said, you know who you're dealing with. Mm-hmm. And so he didn't pay the money to the market that he owned, and so they 86'd him, which that terminology came from Las Vegas, and then 8 miles out and 6 feet down, and so so the first one he found, he was definitely shot up pretty good, and then the other one I found was at the lake.
Yeah, you know why was that? Because they wasn't supposed to kill nobody in the state line, in this side of the state line.
So they have them go outside. Yeah.
Go outside. That's the 8 miles. Yeah. It is 8 miles. No, it's longer than that.
Well, that was they said it was 8 miles out, 6 foot down. But so that was still within the city limits. But you get the 4 mile bar, which on the Boulder Highway, and the reason that was there is because back then, prostitution and things had to be done outside, 4 miles outside the city limits. So they had the 4 mile bar. Across the street, you had the churches over there on the Boulder Highway. And
where is the 4 mile bar?
It's on the Boulder Highway, and I believe in between Sahara and.
Why do you want to know, Rolo?
Well, because Roxy's used to be around there.
Yeah.
Roxy's was the only house of prostitution there was in Las Vegas at that time, run by Berger.
Yeah, right across the street from the 4 mile bar.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so I got an idea where that is.
You'll see that there's a lot of churches over there on one side of the creek. And on the other side of the creek was where the prostitution was at, but then they don't have that anymore, and they have a weekly place, But interesting area over there, and the preaching over there is good in the churches, by the way.
On them, they invented the escort services, and that was almost the same thing. That's how George Richard made his money, to go there and buy that ranch over there, because he made all good money with the escort services in those days, in the 80s, and but going back to your case, how can we help? I'm going to write an article based on this information, but what else can we do? Then we can. Oh, we got time. Yeah. I thought it was, she was signaling, huh?
No, we got like 15 minutes.
Okay, good. Okay, so what else can we do from here?
Well, I'm not really sure what, I think that getting the message out is what we need to do, you know what I mean? And it's a racketeer they got going on, and it's not animals, they're dealing with people, I mean, even animals don't need to be treated wrong, but but when it comes to human beings, I mean, I'm a little partial to them because I am one, you know what I mean? So, and when you're playing around with somebody's life and time, I mean, what are these people? I mean, he was supposed to get out before, Christmas and New Year's and everything, and so how would they feel if they were taken away from their families, man, and sitting on a bench all day long, and wondering if somebody's going to shank you or just steal your ramen or something, and you got to fight over it, otherwise you're going to be a chump, you know what I mean, and attacked or whatever. It's like, I wouldn't want to live my life like that, wondering every day I turn around, am I going to get in a fight with somebody, just to show that I'm a tough guy, or, I got heart. Well, no, I mean, like I said, some people belong there and some people don't. After you do your time, by God, get him out. What's funny? The process of getting him into the prison happened so quickly.
Yeah.
It happened in a day this last time. One day, he's back in the prison, just like that.
Yeah.
And you got to go through the processing and everything.
Especially when you're already in the system. Maybe if you're brand new, it might not be that is, but believe me, I know a guy that is doing time now for a crime he didn't commit. He didn't do anything wrong, and he is paying for that crime.
He's the patsy.
You know,
the evidence looked good.
And that's because people come to Las Vegas thinking that this is a wild town, and that's where they make a mistake. And that's the reason why I did this. I do this show because this show go everywhere. You know, Buffalo, New York, Pennsylvania, everywhere. And people need to know that you can come here one day in a vacation and live on probation.
Yes.
You know, that's
That's what
it is.
that's the truth.
It is very, very difficult. The cops in this city are very corrupted, you know, and people don't believe that. And I'm not talking about the patrol cars. Those guys doing their job, putting a ticket and stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the clique of immoral, inhuman police detectives, you know, then love to beat up women and love to do stuff. Then the only reason they're doing it is because they got a badge and a gun. If you take the badge and the gun, they will have no balls to do any of that stuff, you know, and that's what bothers me. And that's because it should not be that way. That badge and that gun should not give you a permission to abuse people.
Right. But I think that's what's happening with one of his some of the people that he has to answer to, and I think that you know that sometimes people's positions go to their heads, you know, and with that happening, they start flexing their muscles, and some people get up in the power that they have over other people, and in the meantime, they're not thinking about what's right or what's wrong, or this is a human being you're dealing with, and that they have family, they have and then them kids are looking forward to spending time with their dad, on Christmas, because they were told that he's going to be released, and then he's not. That's not right.
Yeah.
It's not right at all.
They enjoy that. They really enjoy making people's life miserable.
Well, one of the things that I was taken back at is, I'm not a wealthy man, but I live comfortably, but I don't forget where I come from, and, I'm only as good as the people that work for me. I'm not nobody special. I just went out and took a chance, and gambled that either it's going to make it or it's not, and it did, and I thank God for that, but in the meantime, I never forget, and my job has never gone to my head, and I would say that most of my employees would agree to that, and so, because I just couldn't do that to people, take advantage of being their superior, and being condescending to them and embarrassing them. If I got a problem with somebody, I bring them in my office and I treat them like men and give them respect. Well, I think these guys that are incarcerated, they're men, and women, they deserve respect too. Just because they're incarcerated and doing some time doesn't need to be talked down. So when I was calling some of these people to, try to get some information on what we can do to make sure the paperwork system is going, they would talk to me like I'm some kind of a second-class citizen. And what do you want from me? And why are you calling me? And why are you bugging me? This caseworker said that I don't have time for this. I don't have time for what? This is a man's life, or he's not supposed to be here. It's time to let him out.
Well, that's why you need to tell them when they say, why do you call me? I say, well, because that's the job that you're doing, that's why I kind of call you. That's your job, to listening to me, and then you become antagonistic. Then you become, you give them an answer, and that's all you need, they turn against you. And then who pays the price? The one that is behind bars.
And that's another concern I have too. Is he coming on here is causing problems for him, repercussions, because but I talked to him and I said, I go, look, I said, we're not getting anywhere with the people that's supposed to be handling your case and who's in charge of it. Could you keep pointing the finger somewhere else?
Yeah.
I said, so, can I put pressure on by, going on, the radio here, which I appreciate, and I hate to see anybody get in trouble because they're not doing their job, but to me, I think it's just pure laziness.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean?
and this is what a lot of people don't realize. They come here, they want to expose the situation, but they're afraid. Well, the more you hide it, the more they realize that you are concerned about your safety, and they make it worse for you. When you open the doors, they say, wow,
That's right.
I'd rather keep my mouth shut, or I'd rather give these people what they deserve, what they have, the right that they have. When you keep your mouth, why do you think, it might take 15 years, but, they didn't want to give them Christine Lovato another trial. Finally, they give it to her last week. But you have to keep going and keep going and expose the corruption of the judges and the police officers. I still believe that she must have pissed somebody off, because I never seen anybody being so cruel.
Yes.
Treated so cruel like she had been. The judge didn't allow the jury to know. I don't know if you're familiar with that case or not, but the judge didn't allow the jury to know that she was not even in Las Vegas when the killing was committed. She had people that was going to pay for the DNA to prove that it was not her. Not her DNA in there. And they didn't want to allow that. She went to the Supreme Court, and she went to, but in the meantime, she has wasted 15 and a half years of her time in there, because for these people, time doesn't mean anything. Time for them is a paycheck.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Absolutely.
And this is what people have to realize. You have to speak up, because if you don't speak up, they're going to step over you more and more and more. The more you keep your mouth shut, the more they're going to abuse you.
Absolutely.
And if the people will throw themselves in the street and protest and do things that they have to do, but we are all too lazy. We don't want to do anything that inconvenience our schedule or inconvenience our routine, and and that's the reason why these Mexicans always pushing and doing stuff like that, because they do go out there and put 2,000-3,000 people in the street and plead it,
Yes, they do.
but they have no reason to demand anything. They here illegal. They don't need to be here.
Right.
It's not a big deal. You don't need to go to school to learn that. When you cross the street in the middle of the street, you jaywalking, you get a ticket. Well, when you come here with no paper, you have to go back. It's simple as that.
Yeah.
I was lucky. I came here with a visa and a passport back in my good days. But it bothers me when people are afraid of the government. You should not be afraid of the government. You should be able to open your mouth and tell them with respect. You never lose that fact. You have to respect the other person. What is your problem now? Jesus Christ! You pushing me as soon as I start talking about the government.
It wasn't 7
I want to say one thing. Is my son-in-law today got his green card. He went to court, got his permanent residency, and and I appreciate that he's doing things the right way. You know what I mean? And
where he from?
He's from El Salvador.
Oh.
So he's playing by the rules and he's doing it right. And he has the opportunity to get his citizenship. in a couple of years. Good. Go back.
Salvadorians are one of the biggest community that are growing up. They even have a bank in Las Vegas. They have a Salvadorian bank. Well, American bank, but owned by Salvadorians. Then, because the majority of them, my sister used to deal with Salvadorians all the time, fixing papers and sending money to El Salvador. That was her business before I ruined it for her. But they don't go out there demanding stuff or anything. They do things like, they try to blend. They try to, like the Hondurans and the Venezuelans. The Mexicans are the only ones that are big mouths because they are under the misconception that this is their land. This is not their land anymore. If I sell you this paper for $5 and you say, no, I'm going to give you $1 and I take the dollar, those papers are not mine anymore. They're yours.
Right.
You bought that for $1. You took me for granted. You ripped me off. It's my problem. I let you rip me off. Mm-hmm. I said, no, I don't want to sell it to you for $1. I tell you what, I sell it to you for $4.
Kind of like Sienna, that $20 million contract you signed her to. Now she wants $21 million. She talked to me over the weekend. She's
making 20 million.
Megan Kelly got a raise.
She's making 20 million a year. We keep talking about 20 million a year, and the IRS is going to come here.
Listen, we have a guest. Let's set it straight. I volunteer for you because we're family.
We are.
Yeah, it's. I insist.
Nothing wrong with insisting.
No. She's a good lady.
Yeah, she is.
She put up with me. She got to be a good lady.
I kind of get that impression.
But Bob, let me tell you, I'm glad you came over. I'm glad you talk about, and I tell you, I commend you for being a friend.
Man.
Because it's not too many people that have a friend when they are behind bars.
Yes.
You forget. People forget about those people back there. And believe me, it is sad to be there and Thanksgivings and Christmas and all these holidays and all the people that enjoy your company while you was doing fine, they forget about you when you're behind us. Yes. It's not, that's why I never forget about people behind bar. I always try to, to keep in touch with them. I had a friend one time. He's not my friend anymore. He used to be in TAF, Federal Penitentiary. I used to drive over there every month. I used to go there, spend a couple hours with him.
That made his day.
Yes.
Huh?
It made his day.
Well, I don't know. He's out now, and I never see him anymore. But I was told that he was told that he cannot communicate with me. So it could be, and he doesn't want to tell me that. It could be. I don't know. But I did my part. I don't do for people to appreciate it. I do it because to me, you are sick in the hospital or you are in jail. I try to communicate with you. I try to visit you. I can visit people in prison, but I do communicate by phone, and I take all the phone calls and all that stuff. And you have a party, I won't go. I don't go to anybody's party. I don't go to anybody's home because I don't know who is there. I don't know what it can be in there. I don't go visit anybody. This is my Kobe Hall over here. People come here. I'm always open for But my friend, it's very important to be friend when people need a friendship.
That's right.
You know, and it is not.
Well, we're coming to the end of our show today.
Are you doing? Okay.
We're so blessed today. Thank you for watching Face the Tribune. Again, we're on Monday through Friday from 12 to 1 o'clock Pacific time. I don't have to say his name. He's the legendary Rolando LaRosse. We will be up on YouTube in a little while. You can Google us, Face the Tribune. Stay tuned to Chris Garcia, the Conservative American. We're so blessed today to have our friend on, Bob, watch our show, call in. He's trying to get his friend out. It's unconstitutional what they are doing. You know who's doing this. You know who's behind it. This man missed the holidays with his family, and he will be back on his show if he wants to. We're going to continue to talk about this. Rolando's going to write an article on it in the Las Vegas Tribune. We're not going to stop. We're going to continue to talk about this. It's unconstitutional what you're doing. He should be home with his family. You made the mistake, not him. He should be home free. God bless America. God bless our troops, and Godspeed to them.